First, she baking the ramen noodle casserole.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do your thing, nobody. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Scrampunks episode 70. 70, man, Moss, that's amazing, isn't it, brother?
Yeah, man. Yeah. What you gonna
70?
you gonna do a interview with Phil on at 100?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna try. It ain't gonna be Phil Spencer. It's gonna be a nickname Phil that's like off of 8 Mile in Detroit. Yeah, y'all. But listen, we got a pretty good show today. Thank you for the one person that's here with us. I hope I'm going to tweet this out because YouTube has been tripping lately.
Yeah.
Everybody's shows has been affected, not just ours, but they're not sending out notifications, or they are sometimes, and it's not consistent. So people numbers has been affected. Yeah. So anyway,
the motherfucker that's in charge of pushing the notification button. He had home quarantine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had home quarantine. Yeah.
Who on quarantine now again?
Google. The people at Google.
Oh yeah.
YouTube notifications. Like
Yeah.
Right now they ain't pushing that button.
So what's up, Mr. Kima? Thanks for showing up, brother. We appreciate it. But let me go ahead and introduce my boy MM2K. What's up, fam?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, everybody? My apologies, but Dirk is going to make up for the gap that I presented myself with. I didn't get a chance to hear that Phil interview, so that's no Phil hate today. No Phil hate. We're going to hear what Phil has to say with Podcast Unlocked. It's going to be entertaining. But with that said, I also want to let everybody know, first and foremost, big ups to We Bleed Green podcast. All right. Keep watching them. Keep supporting those guys. And also the PNTS network, the Patreon and the Discord is getting revamped. We do have a Discord and we got exclusive Patreon material going up tomorrow. So I got to talk to everybody afterwards so we can get that flowing regularly. But we got exclusive Patreon content going up tomorrow. So if you want to be a part of it, just let us know. Go to Patreon and look at PTS Network for more information on that.
Oh yeah. Thank you, sir. Yes. Snow Bunny, what's going on with you, young lady, besides playing Animal Crossing?
Absolutely, positively nothing.
Yeah, ain't doing shit, huh?
I just been sitting around the house. I've been cleaning a little here, there, playing Animal Crossing, and just relaxing. I'm plotting my trip to the store on Friday, and I'm good to go.
All right, that sounds good to me. Yeah, see, going to the store is like some real shit now. I be like, man, I need to go to the store. Okay, let me put on my shit, my mask, my gloves, my.
No. I'm writing a list out so when I go in there, I can go boom, 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 boom. I don't have to linger in any spot for any one moment, and then I'm bouncing the hell out.
Hey, listen. I didn't cuss my mother out. She asked me if I needed something from the store. I said, the fuck you going to the store?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Me and my mom, and that's the thing. Me and my mom need to go. So we're like masking up and all that shit. And I'm sitting here like, Mom, if you want me to go, I'll go. You just stay in the car. But let's just write out a list so we could go in and boom, 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 boom. Get in and get out.
That's how I gotta be. I went to Panda Express and I really had a taste for that shit. And they got that bitch. I mean, you can barely get up in that bitch. I mean, I felt safe though. You know what I'm saying? They came to the door. Hey, yeah, what you want? I was hey, it was safe. It was 6 feet, separation. So I was fine.
What about the niggas making it?
No, they was close. I mean, they was back there making it, but hey, whatever.
I know you don't know what they got. They got that one.
Look, they had masks on, gloves, so they, you know what I'm saying? It was some real shit, man. This shit is kind of crazy. But Tsunami, brother, so what's going on with you, man, besides being pissed off at your moms?
No, just playing some Bleeding Edge, the other day with K Mega, once he learned how to play the game, he started liking it a little more because he's a little testy early on, but
who was K Mega?
We was playing with K Mega. We won we got smacked the first couple matches because he was still learning characters and stuff. But we ended on a 6-game win streak, so we closed it out because my internet was fucking up. Plus it was 5 a.m. So, but besides that, hey, listen, I don't know if y'all on Instagram, but they be having these shits be going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Just link. They had 40,000 people watching. He had clicked somebody random, and they would be doing the wildest stuff with each other, stuff to each other, stuff to Henny bottles.
I saw some of it. Yeah, I know they gonna ban his ass because what I saw. I saw it. I saw it.
Listen, but listen, on his page, the only post he has is follow this page just in case we get flagged. So when they get flagged, his page ready to go. They know what they're doing. They got the cash app up. Listen, the world won't be the same after this Rona is over. People's gonna be moving.
Crazy. Let me say what's up to people in the chat. R&B, Mr. Glass, Tip Diamond, Mr. Kima, 706 Gamer. What's up, y'all? Jamal Adams, Snowbound. I'm nice, Snowbound. So the first thing
hi everyone.
So the first thing he said, did you see Resident Evil 3 is better on the PS4 Pro than the X? Yes, it runs better, sir. It runs better. Okay. Congratulations. Isn't it funny how 85% of the time the X run better on games and higher resolution? But you don't say that shit, though, do you? Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, Dirt. I thought the Metascore is different, though, right?
Yeah, man. Fuck that shit.
The Metascore is better on Xbox, I believe.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Devin?
Nothing much, man. Just been hanging out playing games. Stuck in the house.
Yeah, man.
Trying to get this backlog done. I've been playing some Bleeding Edge here and there and playing my typical Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah. I ain't played Bleeding Edge like 4 or 5 days, and I don't think I really missed the shit. But I like the game. But I'm gonna be honest. But look, let's get right to it, man. I'm gonna get right to it. You know how some podcasts like to not talk about the big shit at first? Fuck that. And I hate that shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the big shit.
Why they do it is because they're waiting for the crowd to build up. I get it, but fuck all that stuff. We gonna move.
We at our high right now. 15. That's it.
All right, say less.
No, we got 16. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that.
Y'all, come on.
Here come Noah.
Or hit the dislike like somebody else already
did. Noah, what's going on with you, brother?
What's up, man? What's good? Hey, Zanami, what's this channel you was talking about on Instagram?
Only reason why he joined.
Hey, when it goes live again today, I'll put it in the DM. That shit crazy, bro.
I bet.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one where the girl was doing something like right in front of her mother and kids and shit?
Oh Lord.
No.
Or is that something different that I saw?
Oh man, what the hell you want? Oh
damn, what is going on?
Let's go ahead and move on.
Man, y'all bored with this virus now.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Oh goodness.
Yeah, hey, this virus got people tripping, man.
That's how you make the best of a bad situation.
Watching all types of crazy stuff. God,
I just see strip clubs. They have strip clubs now, so they have strippers go one by one. And they put their cash up on the bottom, they pin it to the bottom, and then they're like, "Oh, come on!" And they have virtual strip clubs.
They need their money.
Listen, necessity is the invention. What is it called? Invention is the necessity of creativity. Some shit like that. That shit crazy.
Hey, Rain G4 said he still did get notified, but he's here. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Even though you didn't get notified.
Appreciate it, good fella.
Man. Yeah. So, all right. So, well, Tsunami told me wait until the audience build up. So maybe I would take his advice. What you guys think?
That's fine.
Should we talk about?
Let's do this.
What should we talk about first then? Get that shit out the way. Okay, you know, I do have a switch topic. Let's get this shit out the way. Outer Worlds is set to release on Nintendo Switch June 5th.
Yes, it was delayed from April due to the virus. The studio that's porting the game to the Nintendo Switch was at ground zero of the virus in Wuhan.
Oh, okay. So that ain't bad. Only a month, like a month.
No, it was
wait,
2 months.
Bad. This man is sick. He just said that ain't bad.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, there were.
Yeah, it was slated to come out in April, but where the studio who is porting the game to the Switch, they were at ground zero of the coronavirus.
Oh,
so
Neff showed up too.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were at ground zero of the coronavirus. And so it got delayed, but we never knew how long it was going to be delayed to. So they just announced that it's coming out in June for the Switch.
No, okay.
So that means the studio is back at work and things like that.
Hey, Outer Worlds is a game I actually finished. I thought it was a pretty decent game. It wasn't great. It wasn't great to me. It was about a solid 7. But I finished it, and I can't wait to see what their next game is about. And of course, some ponies is running with this news, even though we knew the Outer Worlds was coming to the Switch the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, look at this! I can't wait for Outer Worlds 2 to be on the Switch too. Oh, shut that shit
Just like Ori and shit.
Man, I'm just waiting to Persona 5. If Persona 5 gets put on the Switch, I'm waiting to see how many motherfuckers lose their damn mind if it happens.
Right.
So I mean, come on now.
Yeah. So, all right. Let me go.
Because we're getting Catherine full bodied, which was basically a remaster, and they upped stuff for the PlayStation 4, and they put some Joker references from Persona 5, some Persona 5 references in that game, and we're getting that full game come July of this year. So, day one purchase.
Yeah. What's up, Digital Swords? Yo, man. Phantom. Cracking Joe Hansel, he said, damn, the notifications ain't say shit, but thanks for showing up, brother. I appreciate it. YouTube is tripping right now. Nothing we can do about it. We just got to roll with it. We understand the world is in a different place right now, so we got to roll with what we're doing, right? Nothing. It's out of our control. So, shit.
We got a super chat.
We got a super chat.
And J-Dub, thank you for the $4.99, J-Dub. I'm only here to thumbs down the show and call Dirt Gritty a dummy. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Moss. Sup, Noah. Hey,
What's up,
Tsunami. Bro? Lego Boy.
Shout out to J-Dub. What's up, man?
Thanks, J-Dub. I appreciate the $5.
Man, the motherfucker didn't even mention me.
I think you're Lego Boy.
No, that's Tsunami.
That's his little troll.
Oh, Tsunami. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Thanks, J-Dub. Hey, man, J-Dub actually is a cool guy, man. Y'all just don't realize that he's a complete asshole on social media towards us Xbox guys, but, he ain't a bad guy, man. Well, anyway.
Right.
So, Moss. Man, let's go ahead and talk about this shit right quick, man, before we get into the Phil Spencer shit and all that.
Yeah, you know what? We could do that, and then I'll let Nethel slide in. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Yeah, man. So because we'll get all y'all Stadia hate out. Yeah. So I mean, you want to start it off because I know you had some.
Let me set it up first. First off, Doom Eternal is a phenomenal game. I just finished it a few days ago. Noah just finished it today. Phenomenal game. Great game. Yes. It's better than the first one in every way. And the first one was great. But anyway, so Digital Foundry, they did an analysis of the Stadia version versus the Xbox One X version.
Yep.
And they said it looks great. Everything looks great, but there's some serious lag that's stopping the version from being great. And Stadia fans was not happy. Stadia fans was pissed off about it. Specifically, my boy, MM2K. So MM2K, what's going on, man? What happened with this shit? So you calling them some frauds? Kind of like King Thrasher did with the Gears 5 analysis? Are you calling them some frauds, man?
I will say this, man. Digital Foundry, y'all know I was like never the biggest fan, but they did this to themselves, and it ain't even me. I've been on like 5 different podcasts in the last 2 days on other channels talking about this. Damn. And they stepped on this one themselves. So here's a quick background. The analysis went out for the Xbox version and the console. It went out for the console and the PC versions, right? And so people from the Stadia community said, "Hey, where's the Stadia version?" And John Linneman was like, "Y'all wanted that?" Trying to be snide. And they were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I don't care for cloud gaming, but maybe Tom will do it, right?" So the media started, not the media, but the community started bashing them. There's some bigger podcasts like Stadia Cast. They got like 5,000 plus viewers. They they were saying stuff about it. A bunch of people were saying stuff about it. So I think what Digital Foundry did, because I said, you know what, it's better that they don't do anything because they're going to make it look bad. I think what they did is they got together. They did the Birdman meme, rubbing their hands together. They said, "Oh, y'all want a Stadia review? We're gonna give you a Stadia review." And they must have went under the worst network conditions and created this lag that there is no way could have ever existed, right? But the overwhelming majority of the gaming community have no experience with Stadia, so they don't know the difference. They think it's true. So we lash back. Not even me, really. All I did was bring attention to it, and it just snowballed into something out of my control. Then Android Police came out and said, "No, you're fucking wrong because you claimed that you had 300 megabytes. We're on 25 megabytes per second. We had like no perceived latency." Then I know people say that he's kind of sketchy, but Mr. 4K Upscaler did a live stream showing that there wasn't any latency, and then someone did a latency test and completely debunked everything Digital Foundry said. So they're like in an uproar.
It was the pang.
They're in an uproar. Now, here's what it is.
Oh, wait a minute. We got a super chat, Moss. J-Dub with the $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99, J-Dub. Hey, Nethos and gang, I had to cut you guys out of the previous comment to save $2 on the super chat. Don't blame me. I'm cheap. Thank you, J-Dub, for the $4.99.
Hey, J-Dubs, I can dig it. Say that you got to keep your money liquid during the virus. Yeah. Oh, he said, and gang. Nethos said gang. All right, guys, I'll be back.
Now, can I come back with Monster saying?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So I was watching a Stadia channel earlier. I think it's Stadia Generation. And
Generation Stadia.
Yeah, Generation Stadia. And he confirmed the latency is higher. He said it's not unplayable, but the latency is higher. But you would expect that from a.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the dreaming though. I mean, so
here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Generation Stadia, I don't know what his connection is either, and we kind of talked. We all talked about it because he's affiliated with Stadia Source, so we all talked. We talked about it. For the common Stadia gamer, the latency is around 120 milliseconds to at highest 155. Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter himself said anything under 170 is hardly noticeable. You know what I mean? So if you have a gap of like 30 to 40 to maybe even 50 milliseconds, it's somewhat noticeable, but hardly noticeable. It's not going to be to the effect that the Tom guy said in Digital Foundry. So we don't know what Generation Stadia's latency, what his network setup is, and he's resigned to that. That's fine.
Now,
with that being said,
I'm sorry, Moss. Let me get the super chat real quick. Okay. Tim Diamond with the $2. MM2K capping hard. Stadia ain't got no game.
Hey, look, Tip, it ain't even me, bro. Hey, go look at Mr. 4K Upscaler that does a live stream, and go look at Random Noob. His Random Noobs was just the icing on the cake. It's really bad for Digital Foundry. He has a latency test machine that he tests on live, tests live on screen, and the highest milliseconds he got was 155. Richard Ledbetter himself said anything around 166 and lower is fine. So there's no way.
But here's the thing: latency, the speed of internet is cool, but also distance from, I guess, the server also might make a difference, right? So maybe he really was getting less than that based on his particular location.
What it was. See, here's the problem: people don't have familiarity with how Stadia works. There's two connections that you have to worry about. You have to worry about your on-screen connection to the data server, and you have to worry about your connection through your controller. Digital Foundry hardly plays Stadia, so there's updates that come through, and if you just like the firmware issue where people were like, "Oh, you're getting latency with xCloud because you didn't update the firmware on the controller." You got to do the same thing with Stadia. It looks like he didn't update the firmware because he mentions none of that in his network testing or troubleshooting, right?
Yeah, we saw your
and
tweets.
the problem is it's the math. It's the math. Nobody, like you have me, about 8 other streamers, Android Police, Mr. 4K Upscaler, and this guy that did a latency test, and the overwhelming majority of people disagree and show different results than what Digital Foundry did. And what Digital Foundry didn't do is they tried to lie and say, oh, ARC 4K connection was great. The 4K connection is just a stream. It has nothing to do with your controller latency. You got to troubleshoot the controller latency.
We got a couple more super chats. Did you guys get tip while I was gone?
We got tip.
Okay, so Nethos with 199.
Shout out.
Shout out to panel. I'm going to make a pizza and listen.
Yeah. So in closing, there's two things bad going on here. Either let's go with Android Police. Android Police said that they had no perceived latency at 25 megabytes per second. Meanwhile, Digital Foundry said at 300 megabytes per second, they were getting a lot of latency and a lot of drops. The overwhelming majority of the people out there side with Android Police as far as stuff that they've shown on the internet. Nobody sides with Digital Foundry. Both can't exist in the same space and same time. Either the latency is good, it's a little bit higher than console, but it's good, or it's bad and it's too much. And it looks like Digital Foundry really effed up. So they stepped in it and it's on them. I have no remorse.
Yeah. All right, brother. I mean, I don't know much about it. Like everything that you said was like German. But hey, brother, I know you're a smart guy, so I'm gonna roll with what you're saying.
So basically, what you were saying was Digital Foundry did a half-ass analysis
on purpose,
just to get the information out there, so that they could get clicks and likes.
They did it. They did. Well, it was a trifecta. I think they did it for clicks and likes. They rushed through it because this wasn't a typical analysis video. Like if you look at Richard Ledbetter's video from March, that's a typical analysis video. That's not what they did here. And thirdly, I think they did it to shut us up. They were upset that we were asking for it and they were getting put to task to it. And they said, okay, we'll make sure that they never ask us for it again. But it backfired on them and it looks real bad. But it's on them. I know we're hearing stuff like, "Oh, there's dark days coming," and I don't look that they tried that same shit, and I'm not going to name the person's name. They tried that same shit when King Thrash was on their ass. Pause. And I even reached out to him and said, "Look, man, it ain't that serious. I'll give you a platform to talk about it." And they didn't say anything because it was just a ploy to get the heat off their back. Now they're going back to the internet. There's dark days. Get some motherfucking light. Like at the end of the day, you shouldn't have pulled this dumb shit. Now they're on your ass, so it's on you.
Yeah, man. All right, Moss, but thank you. Yeah, man, because I was just curious about that whole thing, but
Doom Eternal's great. It's a great game, no matter where you play it. It's fantastic. I had some time with it on PC. It's just phenomenal, man.
Phenomenal game, man. Actually, like it's like more of a story than the first game. It's just the gameplay. I don't think there's any other first-person shooter that plays as smooth. As Doom Eternal, man. That game is great, man. This game's great. So that's one of them games where you're proud that you finished. Like, man, I was proud of that. I finished that shit. I'm proud of myself. That's how I felt after I finished that shit, especially after that one boss, that bitch.
Oh yeah. That was, let me say something. That was easy for me. What was hard for me was that dude with the shield and if you get too close to him, he'll hit you with the shotgun.
Every time I saw him, I like shit. Every time. Hated his ass. God. But yeah, that was some good shit, man.
The person that looked like Crane was always difficult for me. I don't know why.
He gets easy.
The person like who Crane?
The little brain thing
little brain thing. He was whooping my ass.
Oh yeah.
He gets easier because you get more powers and stuff, and you get stronger.
Yep.
Another one too, man. Them totems, bro. Like when all the enemies get a buff.
Yeah,
they start going red and start moving faster.
They going fast as hell. Is what you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, that shit crazy. But yeah, the game was fire, man. And I think the difficulty, it was very challenging, but it wasn't like Bloodborne or like Sekiro challenging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a great game. If you haven't played Doom Eternal, you love first person shooters, definitely check it out.
Highly recommend.
Y'all think it's? I know it's early, but y'all think it's Game of the Year contender? Would y'all say that already?
What for Doom?
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I think so. At this point,
so far, yeah.
I mean, it'll probably, but of course, you got The Last of Us coming out, so that'll probably, but yeah, it was a damn great game. But moving on, y'all. So,
I'm gonna drop out. Let Lethals in.
Oh man, no, I mean,
I thought he was making a pizza.
Yeah, The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say the best games I've played this year.
Hey, Devin, what's your problem? I love the Last of Us, man. I can't help it, brother.
Hey,
and we have a super chat. We have Rain G4. Thank you for the $1.99. Stadia are victims of cloud profiling.
Facts. Tell it to them. They're not going.
Thank you for the $1.99, Rain G4.
Can I say this? I just wanted to get under John Linneman's skin a little bit because I know how to razzle the dude. That's all I wanted to do. And this thing snowballed into something. It even snowballed to a point to where there are people in the Stadia community that were going at each other's throats. Like half of them, like this community is not like hive-minded. Half of them was like, well, it's Stadia's fault that you got a calibrated controller. You know what I'm saying? So that sparked a whole bunch of debate. Like people was at each other's throats. Well, we got one. I'm not going to name any names. One particular podcast was calling me out and said I was just making up shit. It was crazy. So I'm telling y'all, even if y'all are not into cloud gaming, this is a very interesting community. You got to stay tuned to what's going on because this is some crazy shit happening right now.
And Memo Podcast was like talking shit about you, man.
I ain't gonna name their names. They think they shit don't stink. We're gonna leave them alone.
All right.
They think they shit don't stink. But they really about to be pissed off because they think they shit don't stink because they trying to call up Google's ass. But they really about to be mad. But I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Damn, you shook right now. Like you don't wanna add them. Like you want to hit that add button.
Bro, yeah, I trying to look, man. They don't trust me anyway because I mess with y'all. No.
They would do it to you.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know it's me. They was like, hold on, this is MM2K guy. He's a troublemaker, and they finally start to trust me. So that's until Sean came out there with that meme of our what was that?
Yeah. That Avengers shit.
He called us the rejects. Oh man,
yeah. They saw like, did they see it?
Oh yeah, they saw. Oh yeah, they blocked everybody.
Damn.
They blocked me. So he said, "Why did they block me?" I said, "Bro, because you retweeted it, man. They going after everybody."
What are you talking about? Who got blocked for what?
People getting blocked for retweeting a video?
Yeah, man.
Did I get blocked? I don't even know who I
got crump side stuff. So that there was a video like we're gonna have a Stadia podcast, so it's themed around the Avengers, right? And it was just a real rough shot video introducing the podcast, right? So Nethos retweeted it out first and was like, "What in the flying fuck is this?" And then and then Sean got a hold of it, and he really cut up. He really cut up. So they were hot. They weren't happy about that.
He got the influence from me. He know how to do edits. I gave him the tools he needed to do what he needed to do. I didn't show him how to do it. But hey, listen, I created my stuff. That's not my fault.
Hey man, I thought it was good, man. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about, man.
Okay.
Our boy Philip Spencer did a 1 hour interview with Ryan McCaffrey from IGN. And he had a lot of good information, and I want to talk about it. Now, who saw the interview besides me?
I saw it.
I saw it.
First half.
The full thing? First half? Okay, so Mars, you ain't see it. I know nobody don't give a shit.
Well, no, it's not that I don't give a shit. It's just that I've been in Animal Crossing.
So,
she said,
hey, Shay Capo, show some respect, sir. Phil did say some shit, man. He did say some shit, and I'm going to go over a few things that he said that really interest me. First off, no, I'm gonna stop your gameplay for a second because I want to try to show part of the interview. If my dog shit PC, can do it. You know how my PC is. We all know my PC is dog shit, but I'm gonna try to do it. See what happens. First thing, the first part I want to talk about is how Phil Spencer said, like Ryan McCaffrey asked him, what do you bring now? I'm paraphrasing here, but what did you think after PlayStation revealed their specs? And I'm gonna please tell me y'all can hear this shit.
I saw that part.
You watched Sterling's presentation.
If I
had a microphone on you, what would I have heard? What would the reaction of Phil Spencer have been? Would it have been like, oh yeah, we feel really good, or wow, they really crushed that, or kind of what was your reaction to?
No, I felt really good about, no doubt. I felt really good about how Series X lines up, and I think Mark and the team did some really good work on the audio processing that they talked about. Their SSD technology is impressive. We like that. We saw the work that they did, but we took a holistic view on our platform, from CPU to GPU to RAM to throughput, velocity architecture, how latency, back compat. It took us years to get to this point. I mean, even going back to my kind of crazy talk at one of those events down in San Francisco, where I started talking about hardware that might upgrade through the generation and what that meant, which leads us to the ability for you to buy now an Xbox One game that will work in its full fidelity on Series X. And so the planning takes a long time. And so, I will definitely have respect for any platform team that's launching. It just takes a lot of work. But I will say, when we finally saw the public disclosure, I felt even better about the choices that we made on our platform. And I kind of expected that I would. I mean,
did y'all hear that shit?
Yeah.
He felt even better about the choices that they made.
Phil talking that shit.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I took it. He's talking that shit. So I asked the guys, can they hear it? Capo said, yes, unfortunately. Ain't that some shit? That's a good one, Shay. No, but I mean, hey, look, man, as an Xbox guy, Phil said, yeah, after we heard their specs. Now let me paraphrase. Let me tell you guys how I took it. Yeah, we heard that shit. When we heard that shit, we felt extra better about the Xbox Series X. Is that how you guys took it too, or was it just my fanboy ass?
Nah, I heard it too.
Yeah, that's how I heard it.
Yes.
I mean,
was he saying in response to PlayStation 5 or the Series X release?
PS5 reveal.
Oh, he said once he saw the.
He was talking about the PS5 specs, and that's what Phil said after he saw. He felt good about their choices with the Xbox Series X, pretty much.
Okay.
Basically, Phil. Ryan McCaffrey asked him after you saw that dog shit PlayStation 30 shit. How did you feel? If I was a fly on the wall, what would I hear? And basically, Phil said, "Oh fuck yeah, we got him."
Yeah, man. So it was a lot of interesting stuff said on this podcast. I think the most important thing he was talking about, like Ryan McCaffrey asked him about E3, about how has the COVID-19. It's got is it COVID-19 or 16? What is it? COVID-19. Yeah, the COVID-19, how that has affected their, what they're going to show, because maybe with everybody working from home, how much is affected from it. And Phil said, to be honest, he said, yes, it is going to affect some of the things they're showing. Mm-hmm. He said, because some gameplay trailers, it is going to be affected. Now, that's kind of like, wow, damn. But at the same time, I mean, this is the world we're living in currently. So things are going to be affected. But, like what do you guys think about that? How he said maybe some things will be affected.
Well, what I also heard was they don't have a plan B. They said as of right now, they feel good about their pace and their schedule. If they said, something, things change, but as far as right now, they don't have a plan B. They don't have a second plan. They're saying things are going to be on schedule, and as far as like the hardware, he's saying the hardware should be good. As far as the software, good, yeah. He said it should be good. Now he says he doesn't want to. He says he doesn't want to not. How do you say it? He said, Ryan McCaffrey asked him, is hardware and software important to be on the same cadence? Or basically something like that. So basically he was asking him, is Halo going to get delayed or is Series X going to get delayed, and will they affect each other? And basically Phil said, I'm not too concerned about it as of right now. I feel really good about the team. There's no plan B as of right now, but the safety of our team's important. But basically he was saying, without basically he's covering his ass, is he intends to launch Halo and Series X on schedule.
Yeah. So that part. But I was talking about more how Ryan specifically asked him about the the show or the digital event they're having.
Oh.
That's what I was talking about. The part where he said, like the hardware is cool. Like he said, the hardware is still on track. He said China, things opened up in China. So the hardware is still on track. but he said what they're going to show by everybody working from home, it might affect some of the gameplay trailers they're going to show. So that's something to talk about.
I think what they're going to have to do is, I get it. You can't show extensive footage, but you still need to show the game. Like, let's just say, for instance, if Fable is affected, right, you can't show more than 2 minutes of it. Show
that's
them
fine.
2 minutes, and then you show the picture art for Fable, and you talk about it. Okay, Fable is another AAA game coming. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't wait to show you more and tell you more about. Like, there's no excuse to still not show something, because what they got to do is, it's a numbers game. You got to show a certain number of quality AAA products in the works, and whether it's a blown out extensive thing, it ain't got to be that, but you got to show it, and you got to show it in the works.
Right.
But he was also talking about, like, he has to be in contact with third parties also.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times they were talking about, like, okay, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about this date? So, like, they're still, having to do things, with multiple, moving parts. And since everybody's so broken up in that home, or, stuff like that, they can't do things physically together. Or like they were talking about the databases of the information and assets, or, in the offices. So it's a lot harder to, make games, make videos, stuff like that. So they're learning on the go. But like they said, even like Moon Studio does that all the time. So they kind of take, notes from different things and how to operate. So they're learning on the go. But the way he sounded, he didn't sound too scared about it. I think
he did.
His tone has the air of confidence, but also covering his ass.
Hey, you know what? Confidence. Moss, we get a chance. Watch the interview, brother. They're confident. He said a lot of shit that I'm going to get to. He said a lot of shit about the Xbox One launch, about this generation, about how they learn from their mistakes, man. Yeah, definitely.
It's too, though, just to piggyback on what Zanami was saying. Like he said he regrets revealing Scalebound too early, because it was a third party dev doing it, right? So he couldn't really schedule it out like that. First party, he don't mind doing it because they plan that shit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But with
and he can babysit it better.
Yeah. So we're gonna start seeing games. Based on what he's telling us, we're gonna start seeing these games being revealed, even if they got a 2 or 3 year release, like Hellblade 2, for example. But it's the third party exclusives that we'll see, closer to the due date.
But the other thing he was saying too was, like, he doesn't want to have brand new hardware and not have games for it. And he said, I lived through the Series X launch. I mean, the Xbox One X launch. Like, he made a little joke at himself. Like, we didn't really have no games, even though we had a system. So, like, he knows, like, trust me, Phil, I don't know if he follows it or if somebody's telling him this, but he knows the shit we talk. He knows what's being said on the Z podcast. Like,
it's funny you say that, because somebody's listening. Hey, Z always say, you'll be surprised who listens to your podcast. Hey, brother, there's some more shit I'm going to talk about with this interview. It seems like they or somebody close to him listens to this community or other podcasts, brother, because he was saying some shit that was being talked about in this community, So let me go to this part about how, like, people say Phil said a few years ago that he don't want to show games off too early. So let me show what he said. Like, it was okay the first time I did it, right? When I played the audio. Let me play the second part. Like I said, Ryan McCaffrey's friend was asking him about, games being shown off too early. So
I appreciate that. And at the same point, you've talked in the past about not wanting to show games too early, like at E3 in particular, and whereas other companies might show things that are further out. But now you've got 15 first-party studios, and most of them new ones, and you're about to launch a new console. Does that thinking relax or change for this year? I mean, are you going to kind of just go empty both barrels, and we're going to see some further out stuff to really get an idea of what the new the new portfolio of Xbox Game Studios looks like this year.
Yeah, the roadmap has never been stronger as I look forward. I mean, even over the next, you've talked a little, even over like the next 6 months. I mean, it's a little crazy how many games are coming out. And in the diversity in those games, I mean, you go from like an Ori to a flight sim to Gears Tactics. I mean, it's Minecraft Dungeon. Tell me why. Like it's a strong lineup. I will still say for Matt and I, that when we show something, we understand how we get from that announcement to the launch of a game. I mean, things could always happen, but we understand what the game is. We understand how it's work, and do we have the technical and kind of production capability to finish the creative vision that we have. So we're going to definitely make sure we tick those boxes before we show something. That doesn't, I think, it will lead us, I think, now with more internal teams to be able to show things that are further out, because it is just, regretfully, it's a little different internal teams and external teams. The internal teams, you kind of know them a little bit better, and we own all the resource planning and everything for those teams where we can plan.
All right, so like Noah said, he said, yo, we have internal teams now, and we know those guys. I like to say babysitting, because with the scale bound shit, even though Fable Legends was a first party team, I don't know what happened with that situation, but maybe they wasn't paying enough attention to it. But because of those situations, I think they learned from their mistakes. They're paying much more attention to these studios with these games. So, like, what do you think about that, man? Like, what do you guys think about that part? Like Neil always say, in the past, when Fear would say, we don't want to announce shit too early, that was because they ain't have shit. Flat out, they didn't have shit to announce. Now they do. So they're going to announce stuff a little bit earlier, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said it before, like the only reason why he said that was because he didn't have nothing to show, which is understandable, because legit, you can't show nothing if you have nothing. And then you can't show like a game that's fucking in fucking storyboard concept art, and the shit might not even come out. So now they actually have, like, you know, all these studios, and some of them making 2-3 games, they can afford to like show a splash screen and then, you know, hold off for, you know, a year or two. They can show like, you know, a trailer for a game that's coming out, you know, 2 Christmases from now. So like now they have that pipeline. He said he's never been, I don't know what he said exactly, but basically he said he's never been as happy with the timeline, you know, as he is now. So like with their schedule, they're scheduling shit out from now. Like I would say from maybe a year ago, once they started getting these studios, they started making these, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. So everything is almost scheduled out. So it's like the clock is well oiled, like the engine's well oiled. So I feel good about, you know, moving forward, because Phil didn't go on IGN for 3 goddamn years because he knew the smoke he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
So for him to come up now, I feel like, okay, Phil, he feeling himself today. Like he know what's cooking.
Hey, Shay Capo said something, but then he kind of, you know, like changed his tone a little bit. But he said the best part about the interview was when Phil said he was tired of seeing people expecting Xbox games on other platforms like Nintendo. Now, Ryan McCaffrey asked him about, you know, the Outer Worlds, you know, Cuphead, and like what's another game? Like the first Ori going to Nintendo. How people expecting he's gonna put Xbox games on Nintendo. Well, that's not really the case. He said people know that's not the case. With us, our games going to other platforms, that's like a special thing. It's not going to happen like people think it is. So all you guys saying, "Hey, look, gonna be on PS5," shut that shit up. But I know what is going to be on Xbox Series X. That MLB.
Oh,
I'm
shit,
sorry.
Come on out, Dirk. Come on
I'm
now.
sorry.
It's still early. He started.
No, he didn't mean MLB. He meant Final Fantasy VII.
He did that to himself.
That's not their game. That was never their game. But yeah,
you heard me, Dirk?
Phil
did that to himself though, with these interviews, and we want our game. We want people to play on any device, which I don't have a problem with. But like the messaging, it was always kind of confusing. You know what I'm saying, when it came to what game was going where.
It was.
Hey, Dirk.
Huh?
Dirk, when I posted that in the DM, what's the first thing I said right after that?
When you posted what in the DM?
When I posted the Unlock podcast video, the YouTube video, right after that, I said one thing. What was the first thing I said about the interview?
Shit, I forgot.
I said, I hope what?
Which nigga, what's them? Don't like
just say that shit.
I said, I hope Phil don't
like
say
a
no
40
dumb
per
shit.
diem. Oh, okay.
I said, I hope Phil don't say no dumb shit. Because, like, I said, listen, if you say some dumb shit, ponies and Xbox haters gonna grab onto it, and we gonna defend some dumb shit.
Listen, man, they gonna run with anything. Did you see that fucking Dolphin game? Nobody. I mean, there was a couple of Xbox guys, because the guy said it's going to run 4K 120 frames per second. And I was like, man, don't cap this shit, Xbox guys. And sure enough, that shit is a fucking Dolphin game.
Look, it's good that he's out there.
And they run him.
He's exuberating confidence. That's what you're supposed to do. I just beckon back to what Noah said. He did this to himself during the Xbox One X release. He said software was key to that release, and look what we got. He didn't. To the point that you guys were making earlier, that he didn't talk about the third-party games or the point that he tried to make. I don't fully follow that, because he didn't even announce the first-party games unless they were 2 years out. You know what I mean? The only exception was Crackdown, and that was because Terry Myerson did that one. Terry Myerson was.
But back then, how many fucking studios did they have?
Yeah, they did.
But they still had games in the works, like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was in the works for a while before.
But they announced Sea of Thieves in 2016.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. The Sea of Thieves came out 2018.
Yeah, but they announced it 2 years ahead of time.
That's what I'm saying. That's
probably got announced in 2015. To be honest with you.
No, I think they announced in 2016.
2016? Okay.
Yeah, so that followed the 2-year model. So they weren't announcing their first party games before 2 years.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
It wasn't a 2-year model. Their model was, if it's not coming out by next Christmas, we're not talking about it at E3.
No, he said he didn't want to announce games more than 2 years out, right? Ain't that what he said?
A year and a half.
That's what he's known for saying.
It was a year and a half out. That means from E3 to next Christmas.
I think. Hold on. Is his? I thought the comment that everybody is memeing is, we don't want to announce games 2 years out. Is that it or
no? 2 years is like considered early. Like, see, you can think about it, like God of War was announced in 2016, came out in 2018. No, what Phil was saying at first, they don't want to announce games too early, meaning they didn't want to announce the games 2 years out. They want to announce a game that's maybe at the longest a year out. Like if it come out June. Like they announced in June 2016, they wanted to come out by holiday 2017. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case. With a few games, I just think back at the end of the day, like we said, they didn't have shit to announce. They didn't have shit to announce, man. And I think that's clear right now. Now they have tons of games in development. They're going to show what they're.
Because I'll give you another example. People forgot this, but how long has Ori been being talked about? They talked about Ori almost right after
2017.
Yeah, that's
2017. Yeah, 2017.
They had a game to show, so they said we're talking about it.
Yeah, 2017.
They've been talking about Halo since what? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? So
2018.
When they have a game in development, they talk about it. So the fact they didn't was just him covering up the fact they didn't have nothing to show.
Yep, he had no other way to say it. They had nothing else to show. So I think he's being a lot more transparent because they have something to show. And I'm not telling you become an Xbox again, Xbox guy again. Okay. If Nick said the Sea of Thieves was announced in 2015, there it is. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So they go with the truck. 3 years before it came out.
So yeah, the moniker is we don't want to show a trailer for things that are 3 years away. That's not what he's known for saying. And that was everything. He said we don't want to show a trailer for anything. AAA big console, first party exclusives. What is this? This is DualShockers. Well, DualShockers had it, but they must have got it from somebody else. I think. And they said Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Okay, and Ash. Okay, so yeah. So the thing was, he didn't want to show things 3 years out, and he didn't talk about anything that was more than 3 years out, unlike Sony did. But what I'm saying now is that I don't care if it's 5 years out. Show that it's built on a platform.
I agree. Moss, you're not getting the point. There was no game to show.
No.
I see what you're saying, Mars, but I think that's what Phil said. It said Mars. Yeah.
Phil said, look. I'm not talking speculative. This is what you guys got to understand. For the Xbox brass, it makes y'all feel confident. You got to now exuberate that confidence to the casual brass. The casual brass ain't confident until they see the stuff. You may be true. It may be true that they had nothing to show, but that's just an opinion. For a fact,
it's been 3 years.
It is an opinion. You don't know why they didn't do it.
Moss. It's been 3 years. What did they show in the past 3 years that they all of a sudden popped and say, "Oh, it's here now"? Did it surprise
okay, look, I'm looking at an article right now where Phil was talking about games. This is all first party stuff.
They're not listening to what I'm saying. Let me
finish. Go ahead. This is all first party stuff that was already ready that he didn't want to show past 3 years out, or not ready. It wasn't ready, but it was already in the works that he didn't want to show past 3 years out. I'm going to read Forza 7, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay. Well, that's the kind of second party. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Ashen, that's second party now. So those are all games that they could have shown early, but
they did show them early. How long they been talking about Crackdown 3?
They showed them more than 3 years out.
We've been knowing
they showed them more than 3 years out
every other year. What are you talking about? Sea of Thieves been out since 2015.
When they talked about Ori was originally supposed to come out in 2019. Yes or no?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, it was so that was not more than 2 to 3 years out. They talked about Ashen more than 2 to 3 years out.
2017.
They talked about Ashen more than 2 to 3 years out.
Ashen was our
they
game.
talked about Ashen in 2016. Because this article right here that I'm looking at, is from 2017. They didn't talk about Ashen in 2016.
So what game did they drop that they didn't talk about for at least 2 years?
I just read them to you. They did not talk about Forza 7, Sea of Thieves,
Wait. Last night. Matt, we just told you when they dropped those. First of all, Forza comes out every other year. What are you talking about?
Let's take Forza out of the equation.
Okay, cool.
Sea of Thieves. When did they talk about that and when did that drop?
2015.
They talked about that in 2015.
Yes.
It came out 2018.
Was that pushback?
No, not that I know of.
Not that I know of.
It was pushback. Was it Sea of Thieves pushback?
No, because it came out empty anyway. So what did they push it back for?
Well, damn, that's kind of sad to say out loud.
Hold on.
I'm saying, y'all got
like this, Moss.
Look.
What am I arguing about? Is that?
Are you trying to tell me?
I'm trying to tell you that they didn't still drop no games.
That you know better than what Phil did. That we should.
No, I know time. It's been 2 years. I know when they announced the games that are currently out. Nigga, they didn't have.
So are you trying to
hold this shit back? They didn't hold any games back from us.
You're going to listen to Tsunami opposed to what Phil said himself. We already know.
You know how to count years. You don't have to be smart. Just trying to tell time.
What are you talking about? What does that got to do with Phil saying it out of his own damn mouth opposed to Tsunami? That's on Scrampunks.
Okay, Moss. Wait, Moss. Let's slow it down for you.
This is what I'm talking about. If you want the casual people to follow your confidence, then Phil has to say it. Phil has to show it. You Harrison, me doesn't matter to casual. Phil right here in this interview in 2017 is saying these games I didn't want to announce early whether they were ready to be shown.
What games did they not announce?
I just went over them with you.
And we debunked all of that shit.
Hey, hold on. I don't know what y'all really arguing about right now. So what are y'all arguing about?
I'm gonna tell you what Moss saying. Moss saying you need to tell the community when you coming out with a game so they have something to be hyped for. I said there wasn't no games. There wasn't every game that came out the past 2 years. We knew when they coming out. Who gets for that?
Moss, so what's not be said? The only games that they did announce was Sea of Thieves, State of Decay. Those are like a couple of first-party games. I know State of Decay was made by.
Here we go. Hold on.
So I don't understand what is the.
Sea of Thieves was announced. I'm gonna go over it.
Phil should not hold back announcements.
Tsunami likes to argue just to argue. Hold on. Sea of Thieves was announced by publisher Microsoft Studios at E3 2015, describing the game's most ambitious project. It was originally set to be released in 2017. So, like I said, the game was delayed. The game was delayed.
Okay.
And Phil Spencer in this interview says, I don't want to announce games 3 years out. And what I'm saying, all I'm saying, what Tsunami just got to argue just for the sake of argument, is you got to go beyond that narrative. I don't care if the game is 4, 5 years out. You still got to announce it. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, where are those games that you're talking about that Phil's hiding?
Sea of Thieves. Look, Sea of Thieves was one of them. We just announced that
He's hid games in 2015, but he hid from until 2018. Gotcha.
No, I just read it. Don't be stupid. I just read it. The game was originally supposed to come out in 2017.
How many years did it make Sea of Thieves?
Bro. What are we doing here? Can we get back to the show?
I'm just envisioning chocolate cherry cake.
Wait. Moss, how many years was Sea of Thieves take to make?
No.
So you want them to announce it when they
fucking
draw the fucking first?
What's that got to do with anything? The game was originally announced in 2015 because it was set to come out in 2017.
All right, Moss, you got
it. All right, Dirt, next topic, bro.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know. That wasn't on so long. I'm envisioning chocolate cherry cake over here, y'all. So.
For the sake of argument, Tsunami loves to argue. I don't care
all you was looking for was the
all right, it's continuing. It's continuing. All right, man. Let's get back to the show.
Guys.
Dirt, cut mics.
Moss. Topic dead. Tsunami, topic dead. Let's move on. Dirk, what's the next topic, please?
Thank you, Bunny.
Hey, I was going to say something else about the Phil Spencer interview, but I don't know if I want to say it. Nah, shit.
Go ahead, Dirk. Say what you want to say.
We got a super chat, nobody.
Oh, okay. Super chat. Thank you, Geekhead188 for the $1.99. Who cares? Just announce games.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. Yeah, thank you for the $1.99, Geekhead.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Okay, so let me just say this right quick. Tsunami, I don't want to just start arguing again, but let me just get this right. Tsunami was saying they didn't have any games to show off early. Moss is saying they had a couple of first-party games to announce early. That's what y'all was arguing about, right? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll hold back. I'll bite my tongue.
Phil Spencer
no.
had games on.
I bit my tongue. Shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. Said that he had games
off my lawn.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. What the hell?
Please, everybody, please hit the like button in the comments.
Hey, what's that thing?
Hit that like button, y'all. These niggas are off their mind. See what's happening. I got too many niggas on one podcast. I need the white guys. I need the white guys.
God damn.
This dude said Phil got a whole bunch of games in his back pocket. He ain't dropping them yet because you want to wait.
Okay. All right, let me just say this. Phil said, hey, Phil also said at the 44 minute mark. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't feel like putting the videos back up. Phil said they have some exclusive third-party games coming. I don't know if they're going to be big third-party games. It could be some more shit like that. Don't Nod game. That
Tell me why.
Yeah, tell me why. It could be some more shit like that. But he did say they have some third-party exclusives coming also. Then he hinted at not having a bunch of games at launch. He said this specifically about the Xbox One launch, how they had 8 different titles, and it's going to be difficult for people to buy 8 different games at one time. So I'm assuming he's saying they're not going to have. They might have Halo, they might have a Forza game, and some third party shit. That's what I'm thinking from what he said. I mean, he made some. King Thrive, get the fuck out of here with that Dolphin game shit, man.
We have another super chat from Victor Alstein. Thank you for the $2. This is what happens when you at home too long. Thank you for the $2. But I mean, the thing is I can understand like not launching 8 games at one time, but you also have to think about this. If you're launching 8 games at the beginning at the launch, if you having different genres of games, like if you launch like 8 shooter games, hardly nobody will buy. But if you launch 8 different genres of games, you're gonna pull in a bigger pool of people buying a game. Do you understand what I mean? Like for me,
different genres,
yeah, if you launch like nothing but first party games, even though they might be 8 games, if they're all first party, I'm not going to buy your console because you didn't offer me anything I want to play. If you do like, let's say you do a first person shooter, you do an RPG, you do a sports game, you do a Halo, you do a Forza, you do different genres of games. Your whole thing is trying to get somebody to show a game that somebody wants that they can only play on that platform. Get them to buy the platform first, and then go from there.
Here's the other. It's like a gift and a curse. Like you want to have those games out, but then you also don't want them to cannibalize each other with sales.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, people's pockets are finite.
Absolutely.
So they can. You might want 5 games, but only can afford 2. So maybe that's like maybe a staggered approach is what he's referring to. But showing the game, saying, "Yo, listen, it's not gonna be here first day, but it might be here on day 30." You know,
and he mentioned that, and he mentioned being transparent about where these games, when these games are coming now, and he also mentioned something like Titanfall that didn't drop at launch, but dropped within the first 6 months of launch, which is perfect. You know, you think about a game like we said Skyrim for the 360, that dropped like maybe 6 months after launch. I think he said Skyrim, might have said something else, but you know, that's something to think about. I just think they're really careful with this generation. Emmanuel A said, Phil said there's no such thing as secret sauce. He did say that. He said he don't like that secret sauce shit. But Emmanuel said he was talking about that fast PS5 SSD shit.
Look, when you drop a console, the purpose of having 8 exclusive titles isn't so everybody, you don't expect everybody is going to buy all 8 of those games. You got to have a spread of games for different people. Like for instance, if you look at the Xbox 360 launch titles, you know what I'm saying, which included Call of Duty 2, Gun, NBA 2K, Cameo, and some other stuff, right? Like, you know, everybody's not going to buy all 8 of those games, but you bring more people into that ecosystem because you're trying to look out and satisfy everybody. So I don't agree with that. And it worked for 360.
And it worked well. PlayStation seems to agree with Phil because they ain't never got no great bangers at home. Am I lying?
Yeah, hey, Moss.
I don't think we're not talking about bangers versus non-bangers. What we're talking about is games that everybody wants to play versus games that. Prime example, when the PlayStation 4 came out and the Xbox One came out, I had the money to drop for either one of the 2 systems. I was talking to my friend who knew more about the games and stuff coming out. I said, hey, which one of these 2 platforms should I buy? I really, really want to get one. He basically told me, because he knew my gaming style and the types of games that I play and the types of games I can't play. He basically told me, he said, you need to wait. He said, because ain't nothing out here right now at launch that you'll be able to play. So you'll be wasting your money on the console.
Well, here's the other part, though. A lot of those PS3 games couldn't just be on PS4. A lot of 360 games couldn't just be on the one.
Well, I'm not even talking about that because I already had a PS3.
Wait. Let me get to that part. So what I'm saying is, this next generation, I think there'll be way more third parties involved in the console launch than previous generations, because the same architecture and the same basically the same engines will be in effect. So I think there'll be way more cross-generation games than last gen.
Yeah.
I mean, but that brings me back to this point. Why the hell are you going to buy an old console? I mean, a new console for the old shit. Wait a minute. When if I wanted to play the shit, I would have bought it on and that's how people look at it. If I wanted to play it, I would have bought it on the gen that it's on.
Yeah,
why am I going to buy a new gen, a new console, and play the shit that came out for the previous console? I'll just go buy the previous console if I really wanted to play it and save me money.
When people buy consoles first day, they're the hardcore. they're the ones that want the graphical fidelity. They want the new features. They want the prettiness. It's not the casuals, of course. The casuals don't give a fuck about that. They'll stay on the current box for 3-4 years before they get a new box. But the people that's buying it day one are the people that are hardcore gamers that's willing to drop this money regardless of whatever's being shown. Same reason why you upgrade a phone. Same reason why you upgrade a graphics card. Same reason why you upgrade anything. If you have a car and you buy a new car, why'd you get a new car? You already got a car.
See, again, that's going off objectivity, because we never had a console generation that's going to be as light as this one on new content, right? Like we have this cross generation thing happening, and because the cross generation thing is happening, we're going to see more cross generation titles on these consoles than we ever have before.
Yes.
So it's hard to say if people are going to accept that unless PlayStation pulls something out of their ass or Xbox pulls something out of their ass. So I find that hard to believe. I think we're mixing objectivity to known fact. People don't mind up-res and prettier graphics, but they probably want those nuanced experiences too that can only come because of the box.
But guess what? There's not going to be first-party games that dictates that. It's going to be Call of Duty. It's going to be Madden. It's going to be 2K, FIFA. It's going to be the favorite, most played games. Once that game can't be played in their current favorite box, that's when they get the new box.
I mean, we had, like, with the 360, we had Call of Duty 2, which was a second-party exclusive, but it was an exclusive. That defined the 360. You know what I'm saying? So you have experiences like that people are looking for. Even Perfect Dark Zero didn't hold the best light over time, but that was something that couldn't be done on the original Xbox. People are going to be looking for those experiences. So I think it is important to have a wide lineup, you know what I'm saying, so you can satisfy everybody. But again, we're looking to have a lot of cross-generational games, so it'll be interesting to see how people accept it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slower adaptation than previous generations.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because of that.
Yeah, and that's also why I think Xbox. I think they know that. That's why they're saying we're going to have. If you bought a Xbox, last Christmas, you can still play Halo next year. Don't worry about it.
Right.
So like, it's kind of like a good looks to the people that bought you late, and also promising to if you like what you see here. Step up what is when we drop the games that can only be played on Series X or something like that in 2 years or so. So I mean, it's Easter on everybody's gonna upgrade for a different reason, and you can't say this is the way you should do it. You just have to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great point, but like you said, a couple more things. But one thing that really, it was towards the end of the interview, where he was talking about some games like Sunset Overdrive, games like Rise, games like Quantum Breaks. Actually, I really want to play what he said because it was very interesting.
Go ahead, play it. I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Where the hell is this damn ghost at?
I know I've got about 10 more minutes or so with you, with a few more things. This one's for me. I've some of these questions I ask them for the community.
No root for it. Root for it. Not coming back.
This one's for me. So, I'm sure you're very happy for Ted Price and the Insomniac team with them going over to Sony. But hey, for me, we never got that Sunset Overdrive 2. So what I seriously want to ask you is, was that like the right game at the wrong time, or can you kind of speak to? I still feel like that is right at the top of the list for all-time Xbox One exclusive.
I do too. I wouldn't say it's the wrong time. I think there are, as the person who was in charge of the platform, I think there are some really good games that shipped on Xbox One that at the time didn't find their right place in kind of gaming lore because they got caught up in a lot of the noise around the platform, some of the questions that people had.
Right.
And I don't love that. And I think a lot about that as we go forward. I think Sunset Overdrive is a great game and people should go play it. The fact that Ted and then the great team at Insomniac ended up as part of Sony, I'm happy for them. I did a podcast with Ted DICE, and we remain really good friends. And I wish him incredible success there. So I'm a studio person at heart, and anytime I see a studio getting the success, I'm happy for that. But I'll even go back to like Rise. People have talked about Rise. I thought Rise as a launch game for Xbox One was a beautiful game. There's some depth of combat stuff. I can't help myself from getting into my kind of studio's mindset. But just as a launch game to show off the graphical fidelity of the console, I thought the Crytek team did an incredible job. And some of those games did get caught up in some of the noise around our platform and how many Ps do we have and TV stuff. And it's cool to see as time's gone by, and I think a lot of platforms do this, where people will go back and I'll identify things that maybe at the time felt noisy, but then after all that noise dies down, they're remembered for being really great games. And it's why our back compat program is so important to us.
All right, so did you guys hear what he said that a game like games like Sunset Overdrive, Rise, those games he felt didn't sell well because of all of the noise, all of the issues with the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. You say, like I know you heard say about it was about the P's, the TV. So he admitted that they fucked up to where it wasn't about the games, it was about the console, the mistakes, the faults of the console itself. And I think this is another indication that going into next generation, they learn from their mistakes. I'm like, what do you guys think about that?
That's exactly what it means. He's implementing that.
Yeah.
They realized afterwards that they totally fucked up, and now they know that people don't care about those type of things if you're selling a video game console. Look like he is trying to focus more on the games, whatever type they are. Look like they're going back to their roots in Xbox and focusing on the games, which is all that matters.
Absolutely.
And also the PR team too. They brought back the main PR from 360, getting way better PR now.
And I hope that means they're gonna bring some sequels to those games.
I hope so. What the hell happened to Tsunami? Where the hell you go?
I don't know. He's outside. He's outside arguing with some pigeons.
I still would like to see a revamped Jade Empire, man. That'd be awesome.
I can't say this though. Like, it's all about the games, but Xbox is the only platform I know that got ridiculed for having games running 720p and 9.
Absolutely.
We get on the Switch, but people still play the games and buy them on the Switch. But
absolutely,
Xbox completely got shit.
But the thing is the difference there is the Xbox was touting so much power. And then here you go, you're touting so much power, and then you're putting out games like this. So yeah, you're going to have people who are going to get up here and ridicule you for having all this power, and you're putting games out like that. The Switch
that's people that aren't gamers.
Back to 2013.
We're talking about
2013. He had
some
more realistic games and.
Rise.
And the PlayStation was getting the cartoony games like Dad and Knack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like now now it's sitting here like, okay, you're going to have all this power. You have all this, and then you should be okay. The Switch never came out saying they were going to have a lot of power. Okay, people accepted that as it is. They already knew. You don't buy Nintendo consoles for power. If you think you're going to get power with a Nintendo console, you're deluding yourself.
See, but what the thing is, like Noah was saying, nobody at the beginning of the generation, Xbox knew they were weaker, and the community was talking about how weak they were compared to the PS4. And you saw what Phil just said. Games like like Sunset Overdrive and Rise and Quantum Break, those games didn't sell well because there was so much backlash to the console to where people, that shit running at 720p, that shit running at 900p, that shit
right.
We were
but wait a minute, one question now. You gotta look at who started that, because the generation that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The generations before, did we ever care about shit like that on any console?
And we never had things like Digital Foundry either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
So this generation
next
is
thing you know, all the fucking GameStop employees saying, "Oh, why you get that? It costs more and it's weaker."
Dude,
like it started the whole ball rolling.
Hey yo, Tsunami! I'll never forget when Wolfenstein. Like what was the first like Wolfenstein?
The Old Blood, the
New Colossus.
No, like the first one, whatever the first one was.
It was the Old Blood, right? Wolfenstein, the Old Blood.
Yeah, that one.
No, Old Blood was the DLC.
Yeah, the Old Blood was the DLC. Like whatever the first Wolfenstein was this generation. When that came out, I remember being in GameStop.
You're right.
And I got into a slight argument with a guy because that Wolfenstein was actually 1080p 60 on the Xbox One. And this guy was like, no, it ain't. I was like, bro, it's 1080p 60. The foundry said it was 1080p 60. No, it ain't. And I'm like, nigga, it's 1080p 60. He was like, no, that shit probably 720p 60. A total stranger. I was like, fuck you, you know. But the thing was, that was what it was about the beginning of the generation. I don't give a shit what Pony say it wasn't. You a damn liar. It was about that shit. And Phil just said it. It was about the peas. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's like crazy because how many teraflops was the base one? Like 1.3. 1.3.
I don't even know what the hell a teraflop is, to be honest.
Just give you a scale. It was 1.3 versus 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently at 12.125 or some shit like that versus 9.3 scalable to 10.2. That's a huge gap. But now playing it more than fucking 1.2 to 1.3 to 1.8.
Let me leave you with this gift, right?
So that's it. Joey has a new order. I'm sorry.
The new order. That's what it is. Remember Rise? Remember originally it was supposed to be 1080p, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Crytek announced, we're gonna scale it down to 900p, but we're gonna add more polygons. You guys remember the outrage?
Yeah. Yeah,
man. Skip to today. It's all about the graphical settings and the graphics. It's not so much about the resolution anymore. So, that narrative continues to change. But yeah, Xbox got shitted on for everything but games and
absolutely, man. Because you think about their launch lineup, they had Rise, they had Dead Rising 3, they had Forza 5, they had what's some others they had. Like Killer Instinct, and they had a good launch lineup, man, but people didn't give a shit. It was about this shit whack. It was about TV. They were about to, make DRM and all that shit, man. So you can't sit here and tell me.
That was a problem, but I don't think it's just that simple too. Xbox just didn't have a real hardcore plan to reach.
Hold on, Moss. Hold that thought. Like before you say, like you're right about that. And Phil, like watch this interview, Moss, when you get a chance. Phil said they have a plan with the Xbox Series X. Phil said that they have a plan.
They didn't have a plan with the Xbox One X. I mean, with the Xbox One, and it spilled over to GameStop and spilled over everywhere else, and to the point to where, and again, I'm talking from I'm talking from the perspective of the person from the outside looking in, the casual that you got to win back. They didn't even understand what Rise was. They didn't know how Sunset Overdrive is. A lot of those people that have those games now, they're like, "Oh yeah, this shit is dope." But it wasn't marketed well because the mystique was TV, and Connect.
Absolutely.
Now Xbox has their own plan. They got things in a good favor and a good light, and we're going to see the execution of their plan. I just hope that plan involves games that's going to garner people's attentions. Games.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing. Listen. I'm not going to damage control. They know what they have to do. I think so. I think a game like Bleeding Edge is fine as long as they have some bigger games in between. Flat out.
Surround it. Exactly.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that'd be an issue. But what you said was absolutely right, man. It's absolutely right. And they did. And Phil admitted that shit. He said, we have a plan for the Xbox Series X. They know, man. Like I tell people, when people make mistakes in your own life, I always talk about myself. I know my first wife, I know what I don't like about some things about a woman now, right? She did some things. Oh no, I don't want a woman like that. So you learn. Now my current wife, shit. I learned so much from my first wife. I think I'm gonna make the same mistake again and marry a woman just like her? No. No, I married a different kind of woman. So that's like life. You learn from your mistakes. Xbox knew they fucked up. They learn from their mistakes, man. And I don't know why people think they're going to be the same next generation. Was Nintendo the same after the Wii U? Was PlayStation the same after the PS3? No, they know how they fucked up. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Talk about bleeding edge all you want to, Thrash, and all you niggas in the chat.
Look, man, they gotta get themselves out of that rut. Like they're talking about.
They gotta get themselves out of the rut. You're right about that.
They're talking about this game that's 4K 120, and it's another game.
But you guys
that was an indie guy. I wasn't rolling.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're getting close to the wire. Y'all going, start bringing that stuff out.
They gotta
bring them out. Bring them out.
But you gotta think about like this right now. And I've said this before. You guys right now are sitting in the same spot Nintendo was sitting in after the Wii U. You can't just sit up here and.
That's not true. Wii U had games.
It wasn't as bad as.
No. What I'm saying is when the Wii U was, coming from the Wii U to the Switch. That's where you guys are at right now. Okay. Because you got to think about when they announced the damn Switch, how much fucking ridicule did Nintendo get for the damn Switch? Oh, it's going to be underpowered. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Okay.
And Dirk still thinks that right now.
Hell yeah.
But he still thinks that. But my point is right now you can say anything you fucking want to about Xbox. Okay. We believe this. We did this. We do this. Xbox is going to have to come out here and prove themselves. Like I said, with Nintendo. Right now, you guys are sitting. Everybody is sitting. Xbox is sitting at the same spot Nintendo was. Go back. You can even go back and look at old videos of how much ridicule the Nintendo got between the generations before they released the Switch, because nobody had faith in them. They were like, "Oh, Nintendo should just give up making video games. They need to go into software only, go third party, this, that, and the other." Okay, now they dropped the Switch. People were like, "Oh, like I remember seeing, was it Boogie up here holding an iPad with two Wii U controllers next to it. With two Wii controllers next to it, saying, "Oh, look, I got a Switch. It's a tablet, this, that, and the other." And they've all had to come out and like fucking apologize because they're like, "Damn, we were wrong about the Switch." But my point is right now you can say anything you want to say, and Microsoft can say anything they want to say, but they're going to have to come out and prove themselves. Actions speak louder than words. Absolutely. And they're going to have to come out and slay that shit if they're coming out hardcore.
Hey, Snow Bunny, I don't think any Xbox guy on this panel was disagreeing with you. They have to. We got a super chat by True Witty.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hi, True Witty. Thank you for the $5. Why you guys lying about the PS5 9.2 where Mark Cerny says this devs call it revolutionary? You notice Xbox isn't called the world's most powerful console.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Go to Xbox.com, nigga, and see what the fuck they say.
And also that's been the it's 9.2. Digital Fonzie even said, well, I won't talk about Digital Fonzie from the Moss right now, but a lot of sources said it's 9.2 chip overclocked sometimes. The base clock would be closer to 9.2 than 10.3 on average.
Let me say something about that.
And True Witty, thank you for the $5.
Thanks, True Witty.
What the PlayStation 5 is doing is kind of unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? And hardware, even PCs haven't brought this technology yet. It's called AMD Smart Shift. Pretty much, it takes resources from. So when the GPU cranks up, the CPU goes down. So when the GPU cranks up to 10.2, that CPU is going to drop down from 3.5 down to 3.2, and vice versa. When the CPU needs to boost up to 3.5, then the GPU is going to go down to 9.2. So it's something we haven't really seen perform. So it's really hard to say what type of real-time performance or we're going to get from the PS5 doing it. But one thing we do know is what the Xbox is doing. We know it works. Running at 3.8 sustain and 12.1 teraflops no matter what. Basically the boost control is more powerful than what the PS5 is boosted. So and
also like PS5, they're smart. Like they're leveraging what they have. So it's like when you see a girl with big boobs and no butt. What's she doing? She's showing her cleavage every time she can. She is leveraging what she got because that's what she's working with.
That's what she's working with.
Look, y'all. The PlayStation brethren, y'all know how I am. I like kicking Phil's ribs in. I'm not fully sold on this bibble babble talk. We'll see when the games come out. But y'all got to drop this power narrative. Y'all don't have it. Y'all don't have it. It's okay. Y'all don't have it. Y'all were able to do wonders with at 1.8 versus 6, but y'all look spooky out here trying to talk about this clock boost. If we're going to sit here and say that Xbox, no one can reasonably be happy about Xbox until they show the games, then the same works in reverse. Can nobody be happy about this superb boost or whatever the fuck it's called until we see it in action? Nobody has shown it in action. It's never been seen before. I don't think y'all can use it until we do. So just focus on the games, and stop with this smart boost shit. It's not working.
Well
hey,
said,
hold on for a second. True Witty, I want to show you something right quick, sir. Please
put it on the screen, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the super chat first, real quick, or
hold on? Let me show this. Now, can you guys see that?
No.
Yeah. Now, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
It's not on the screen. Is it on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it is.
This is official. You see that says
God
Microsoft.
Damn. Oh, no, they took the fastest too. Like
this is their web page. This ain't no bootleg nigga. This is Microsoft. Right.
Hey, yo, they gave
you see that?
Hey, listen,
most powerful.
They took away Xboxes for most. They said the most.
They said the fastest and most powerful, so they staggered both. Like
Moss said, y'all, you know what? Right now, y'all have better development teams. Just roll with that. You guys, Naughty Dog is the best developers in the world.
Sure,
Naughty Dog is the best developers in the world right now. To me,
that's common consensus. I don't agree with it, but that's common consensus.
I don't agree with it either.
Great, roll with that. Until Xbox proves otherwise, you guys have the best developers in the world.
Damn, they okay, Xbox, I see you. They joke both.
I don't want to.
And we have a super chat for $1.99.
You don't that. What the fuck out of here? I ain't about to put that nigga thread. Why the fuck you in the Xbox podcast anyway? Nigga, you hate Xbox.
Hate Xbox. He got a damage control when he can.
Every video this nigga he bad.
Let Bunny pay the bill.
Podcast anyway, man. Get the fuck out of
here. Geekhead 188. Thank you for the $1.99. Why does it matter? Powerful doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, they say it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Geekhead. But look, man, brother, I just can't deal with this shit no more, man. These niggas irritating the fuck out of me. Let's go ahead and do this.
We got one more super chat.
True Witty.
True Witty, thank you for the $2. You go ahead then to the fire if they don't do better.
Of course I will. Man. Because I said I damn near if they would have bought on new studios, I ain't gonna say I would be a pony, but I damn sure wouldn't be rapping the Xbox.
I was gonna ask him the same about his English teacher.
He said simply scroll down. What we expect in this generation game, man. Okay, what am I looking for? They're talking about most powerful console ever. Most powerful console ever. Xbox Series X. Our most powerful. Of course, it's their most powerful console. Okay. So you're saying that they're saying they're still just the most powerful Xbox. Okay. So that's what you're saying. Okay. So I guess
the title before up top that used to say Xbox.
We have another super chat. Yeah. Rain G5. Thank you for the $1.99, Rain. So the PS5 needs power coins.
I don't know what you mean.
It's a troll.
So Thrash, so you're saying the PS5?
So thank you for the $1.99.
What you're saying? Because I don't know hardware like that, but I know what I can read. I can read, nigga. And so you're telling me that the PS5 is still most powerful? Okay. Just because it says the new Xbox fastest, most powerful. Because it used to say fastest, most powerful Xbox, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I played earlier when Phil Spencer said he was after he saw the PS5 specs, he was excited about what they did with their choices on their console. Is our most powerful console ever. So because it says Xbox Series X is our most powerful console ever, that's
Thrash. Did you watch the interview? because in the interview he definitely said it.
Yeah, man. And
Geekhead 188. Thank you for the 199. At least we keep the same energy, unlike ponies.
Facts.
Thank you for the 199, Geekhead.
Okay, look, I'm not listen fast. I ain't gonna fuck on with you, man. I'm gonna start ignoring your fucking ass. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do a little short version of do you give a shit? Hey, I don't know, True Witty. I don't know, brother. I don't know. So apparently Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is exclusive to the PS4 for 1 month. Do you guys give a shit or not about that? Tsunami, do you give a shit?
Well, in terms of that particular game, no. I'm not the biggest COD fan anyway. But as far as if this becomes a thing, I can see myself not liking it. And this goes for both sides. If you want to have a game exclusive for a period of time, cool. But do not cut content and make us pay the same price and then hold back. That just feels like I got to pay... for the cable bill, but I only get some channels, but everybody else get more channels than me. Like it's just not fair. So I don't really like the fact that they're doing it for a month, and I don't see why they even have to. Like they have the market share, they have the players, they have the consoles. The people are gonna buy it on that system anyway. So why do they feel the need to do this even more this generation? So I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. Like, so what you think about it, Moss? The PS5 the PS4 having Call of Duty,
all Spirit, Love, and War. We was thriving in the 360 days when we was doing it. So, we got when we were hell yeah, I was a big time 360 person. Don't do that. don't go down that hole.
No, yeah, you can't say we. You gotta say I used to be.
When he's saying he's talking about
for the 360.
I'm trolling.
I'm talking about as far as 360 era is concerned. Yeah, I'll claim them for 360. It was great when we did it, and then we thumbed our nose across the street when we did it. You know what I'm saying? And pounded our chest. I mean, all sphere level.
But has there ever been a mode? I said I was fine with games, but a mode.
Is it the whole mode or is it the whole game? I thought
it's the campaign, the whole campaign.
The Modern Warfare so what is this part of? I thought it just wasn't available for sale.
No, right.
That's the whole game. It's PC, just campaign.
It's PC, Xbox.
Okay, the whole game is a campaign. Yeah. So
April 20.
They're holding back the game. It's the remake, which is just a campaign, as far as I understand.
Campaign. Yeah, like not no multiplayer, but still.
So, that's
for me.
So you can't play
like you though.
So the game you can't play multiplayer.
I don't think it's like.
I don't even think the game's coming with multiplayer.
There is no multiplayer.
Oh,
there is no multiplayer. It's just a campaign. That's all it is.
So they make you pay for it twice, or is it like how's it working?
No, you just buy it and play the campaign. That's it.
Yeah, there is no multiplayer. There is no multiplayer.
Like how much is it? Do you guys know the price of it?
$30.
20.
Oh, 20?
Oh, 20.
It ain't bad. I mean, whatever.
Okay, so I heard that they were moving the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 maps to Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer. So that makes sense because you're not going to have a multiplayer. They're just going to build on the.
They don't want to split. They don't want to split the player bases.
They never cared before.
Multiplayer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm not buying it. That's why I don't give a shit.
Yeah, if
they have multiplayer, I'll buy it. But if they don't, I'm not buying it.
I mean, is it true that there's people out there mad about this shit? I mean,
people are mad.
Some people mad about it. Me personally, you know what? It's business, man. I mean, it's business. I mean, ain't nothing I can say.
It's Activision.
Yeah, see, like me, I thought it was just the mode they cut. So if it's just the game being delayed a month, then okay, that's fair. But I thought it was cut content.
Exclusive for a month, so I mean,
it's Activision. It doesn't make sense. Like we're all locked down and shit. Why would you? It's stupid, in my opinion.
Hey man,
the whole deal kind of seems
like the game, the campaign. That's just gonna be dead within the month.
See, look, Devin. I don't give a fuck, man. It's like they made the deal. Ain't nothing we can do. It's all about
my thing. Why did Activision feel like
I'm not gonna buy a game I already own?
PlayStation just gave them the bag. They wanted to give them the bag for these grimy deals. I mean,
but like it's for what? Like you're already that much ahead. Are you that much afraid of Xbox and PC that you want them like that? Like I don't get it.
I don't know. They just look, bro. This business, I don't give a fuck. I'll wait a month or I get it for the PS4.
Like I said, I don't care about it being a whole month, but if they don't have multiplayer, I'm not buying.
I think they're going to turn a lot of people off to the point where they're not going to buy it because they feel slighted. I feel like a lot of PC people won't buy the campaign. A lot of Xbox people might not buy the campaign because they said it's just like Control. Like when Control did that shit sort of like dog shit on Xbox because we didn't want to buy this shit after they said, oh, they giving them content that we're not getting. Fuck that.
See, but the thing is, PlayStation is still doing these deals. Like, remember Phil Spencer said, like, he don't want to do these kind of deals. Well, I'm going to go back to something Mooch said years ago. Yeah, Phil said he don't want to do these deals, but at the same time, your competition is still doing these deals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe he should go back and look at that shit again. How they was in the 360 generation, how they had 30-day early DLC and shit like that. Because even like Final Fantasy VII, that shit exclusive for damn near a year. I will go back
to showing games too early out. I don't think they have third-party deals to even get. I think PlayStation got them already.
Destiny was a her piece. That was, and what else was there? Was there something to call it? I mean, of course, the Call of Duty deals were her piece, but I think Destiny. Yeah, because we got to remember the first like 2 years, things were close. They weren't bad. Like even after they dropped the Kinect, then that's when things started to separate a little bit. But then knowing that, because I'm someone that came and bought a next gen console because of Destiny. Destiny was big. Mm-hmm. And knowing that you were going to get exclusive content for Destiny for a year that you weren't even going to see on Xbox until Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah.
You got to fight for some of these deals. Now, I do agree with Devin that a deal for a month is silly. It's just silly. But you got to fight. And I don't like Phil's stance on, I don't like that. You ain't got to do it for a month, but you got to do it at some level.
I agree. You have to, that's like we got like two like mom and pop restaurants in the hood. They got these special sauce of buffalo wings and only one place got them. Those 30 days.
Exactly.
Like we get it 30 days later. Nigga, I might have gone down the street to get them.
I'm hungry now. I ain't hungry 30 days. I can care less about 30 days later.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a business move.
All I'm saying, Dirt, is either way, even if they didn't have the exclusivity, if it don't have the multiplayer, I ain't buying the shit. So it don't matter to me either way.
Yeah, but that's you though. I mean, but some people like the campaign.
Some people buy it. I mean, I got the game on Xbox already.
Yeah. So all right. So we got a few more. We got a few more things on who gives a shit. So everybody's saying the Predator Hunting Grounds is ass. Have you guys played it? Or?
I played it on PC.
Okay,
it's correct.
So it's ass. So like people in the chat, King Thrash, have you played the Predator game?
Yeah, I was about to say King Thrash. Yeah, about that.
Because like some parties are saying it's ass too. So I don't know. Yeah. I haven't played it.
I don't know anybody said they liked it.
I haven't seen one person.
I've seen some people on Twitter, but they capping.
They capping them.
I think they're capping. I mean,
it was King Thrash.
I expected that game to be good anyway. Really.
Yeah.
Von Lamont.
Yeah, because that team was the Ilphonic. They made that Friday 13th, and that was.
But people liked it though. People, even with the bugs, people said they liked it, and they said they liked it with the bugs better than they like this with the bugs.
Yeah.
So like, people can look past certain things that's janky if it's fun. And apparently, this is not fun.
It's not, bro.
Fuck it.
I'd rather play CS:GO.
Yeah. So like True said is alright. So Gears 5 multiplayer designer
says, "Nope, I don't play garbage games."
Yeah, I saw that. So Gears 5,
if you haven't played it though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Gears 5 multiplayer designer has left the coalition citing personal issues. Do you guys give a shit? Is this a big deal that Gears 5 multiplayer designer has left the coalition?
The game already dropped. What is he doing?
I saw that. That was the pull. I mean, yeah. Come on, it is silly season.
Does he have to do with like the seasonal updates and whatnot?
I guess he just like helped like release the one that just came out last week or something.
Yeah.
And he said that was the last thing he did at the coalition, and he's leaving.
He's taking a sabbatical, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for personal reasons, I'd be a little more concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's taking a sabbatical, like he said, taking a sabbatical.
And then the same people that are pointing this out are the same people that say who cares about crunch? So I mean, why are y'all pointing this out? What are y'all trying to say? Xbox crunched this guy to death. Well, y'all don't care about crunch, right?
Right.
This is where the console. That's why I'm with Stadia. This is where the console talk is silly.
All right, y'all. The last thing I have for today's show is Gearbox. So apparently, Gearbox usually tells their employees they're going to get some profit sharing, and I guess Borderlands 3 did extremely well. But my man Randy Pitchford said, "Y'all ain't getting a damn thing. Y'all ain't getting shit." Like what I said, some of these profit sharing checks are like six figures. So he said they ain't getting shit. So do you guys give a shit tonight? Is this fair? What's going on with Randy Pitchford?
Did you see the shit that happened with Disney? The fucking CEO or whatever gave up all his money to like pay all his employees, and then you see this, and they were promised this money.
That's the worst thing about it.
They were promised this money, and now and they're still not getting it.
Yeah, that's fucked up, ain't it?
Yeah, it's messed up. These are just regular people. They deserve their fucking money. You promised.
Yeah. I mean, that's just unfortunate, man. Especially like I can't stand people that's not a man of their word, a man or a woman of their word. If you say you're gonna do something, I expect you to do that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I really do. And especially as everything is right, like Borderlands 3 did well. They made a lot of money on the game. Give us our profit sharing check, nigga. You know, I'm just saying.
They deserve their damn money.
Randy Pitchford is shady. I love Borderlands 3, but he's shady. And then this goes back to people, what I was saying before about crunch. People get upset and say, oh, crunch doesn't matter. This is what you expect. But if you keep having these situations where people are working hours that they didn't expect and people ain't getting paid, then you're going to continue to see an exodus of veteran developers, right? Like we were talking about this only like a year or two ago, that veteran developers are leaving the industry and they're going to do other shit outside of games. You know what I'm saying? And the trend is going to only continue. And y'all are mad that the quality of games. This is why.
You saw Naughty Dog, what they said, 75% less?
Yeah. I mean, come on. Come on, y'all. I know we're the consumer. We're not supposed to be.
Too?
Yeah, Rockstar. Yeah. Yep. There's got to be a balance.
Definitely, man. So, like, what can prevent crunch? Is it like when Microsoft situation having a bunch of studios?
Well, yeah, that's
help
what it is.
prevent
like Microsoft, they're trying to prevent that, because when you have that many studios, you don't need to press your 3-4 studios that you had previously to come on now. This is our big game this year. You got to make it by Christmas. Like you don't have that pressure anymore, and you have like a longer, I guess, launch leash. I guess.
Yeah, like a grace period.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, but Microsoft and Sony can do that, and Nintendo can do that, but unfortunately,
like third party
can't.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Like who they own? You said Borderlands. Isn't Borderlands 2K?
Yeah, the publishers. Yeah, they have different.
Yeah, so the publishers are the ones that put up the money, right?
Yeah, but they still got a deadline. Like, yo, how this shit?
Yeah, they still got the other groups on different games. You know what I'm saying? They still got their seasonal games that they got to send out every year. You know what I'm saying? Or every 2 years. The problem is that the industry wants us to crank out games still for $60. They want their games they want them to be developed every 2 to 3 years, but they're using tool sets that require people to spend endless hours to make them. We need better tool sets to help develop games in the industry. Once we start getting better tool sets or anything that can cut it down from 500 devs on a AAA game to 150, then you'll start seeing everything even out. But until then, I don't know what else you do.
And games are getting bigger. Like, games are
exactly.
Getting like fucking huge. Like a AAA during Nintendo, one Super Nintendo era was fucking Mario. That was
that was a AAA back then.
Like Sonic, the big new Sonic coming. Those are the AAA games.
Those
now
AAAs, bro.
Like this huge world
real shit
that has all these intricate things in, like The Witcher and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like these fucking games are huge, and people expect them to just crank them out. Like, nah,
man, these games take time, brother. And these like development teams be like 200 people. Like The Last of Us, Naughty Dog got what, 250 people working there? That's a lot of people working, man. That game takes time. You know, they pay attention to detail at Naughty Dog, and they over there crunching like a motherfucker. So, hey, man, these games take time, and I think, like Moss, like you say all the time, people that hate microtransactions. Listen, if they're not for you, don't get them. Don't buy them.
As long as it's not pay to win, I don't give a fuck.
As long as it's not pay to win, I don't give a shit. Because I love my favorite hobby. I know 2K, NBA 2K is a motherfucker with those microtransactions, but at the end of the day, they gotta pay, right? And they gotta pay for that NBA license. That's expensive as license, man. So I don't give a shit as long as it's not pay to win. If people want
the other one that I don't like is cut content. Like when the game purposely cuts something out of the game that could have been in the game.
Like Dead Rising 4.
Sell it back to you. Kind of like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, that DLC, that should have been in that game.
and like Dead Rising 4, the real ending is in DLC.
That's crazy.
Man, that shit was crazy. And I bought that DLC. I ain't even finished it because that was some bullshit. But yeah, but this is how it is nowadays. These games take time, and we're going into another generation where the games are probably still going to be $60. So don't be surprised. Microtransactions ain't going nowhere, y'all.
And guess what? Inflation hasn't increased that game. $60 has been $60 for a long time. $60 back in the day was way more than it is now. The games are cheaper than they've ever been, basically.
Yeah, like except for like the PS1 era, like games were like 50. But
no,
even
I'm talking about the past 2 generations, they've basically been 60.
Yeah, it's 60. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, but that's about it, y'all. That's all I have, man. I thought it was a great show. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
No. You guys think after the show, though, y'all think y'all got like another 15-20 minutes for an after-hour show, or no? Y'all tired?
I do.
I don't care.
Okay. All right. For the Patreon.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're about to get out of here. Number 2K, bro. What you guys going on, man? What you got going on?
Man, hey, look. It wasn't me. That's all I gotta say. The Digital Foundry stepped on it. It wasn't me. But I'm just, we working on the Patreon. We doing some more stuff. We still waiting for Tsunami's punk ass to start his channel so we can add him to the website. And that's it.
PNTSnetwork.com.
Yeah. Make sure to go and check out Bunny's channel. Bunny putting on a lot of videos lately, doing a lot of live streaming. If you want to see that Animal Crossing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Animal Crossing. Actually, I might break and stream something different, but a lot of people.
Bunny, we still gotta stream that Smash Bros.
Nah, let's do Splatoon instead.
So you can fall asleep again, Devin. So like Devin said, you've been putting a lot of videos. You got 613 hours in Animal Crossing.
Soon. But like I said, I be live streaming Animal Crossing, and a lot of people like that live stream because it's a chill game, especially after if they've been playing something like Doom and everything. They like to just slide in and watch it and just chill out watching Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with sliding in. Ain't that right?
Right. He said that's for the after dark.
All right, Tsunami, bro. What you got? I know you got nothing going on. You ain't doing shit now.
Hey, listen, I'm making tacos right now.
Tacos.
I missed Taco Tuesday. Actually, it was kind of late, but I missed Taco Tuesday, so I like to do something Mexican every Tuesday. But I said, fuck it, it's Wednesday. I'm making it today.
Oh, okay. So it's Ramen Noodle Wednesday for your ass, huh?
Hey, Dirk, I am an excellent chef. Don't ever disrespect me like that again. But yes, I do eat ramen noodles when I don't feel like cooking.
Right. Hey, Devin, brothers, you need to do a video. You need a video in a while, man.
I was gonna come out with one today, but like I'm just looking for the right topic.
Yeah.
So I'll have one out.
Devin said if I can't talk
I'm just
shit.
not sure.
Right. Devin said if it ain't nothing I can talk shit about, I ain't gonna do a video. Because I know the Devin gonna do.
I've been doing a lot of edits, man.
So
making video edits and like little skits, and I'm trying to work on some skits as well.
Okay.
Devin on a podcast is nothing like his videos. Devin on his videos is a madman.
Right.
No, Devin is a madman in podcasts when he's drunk.
I just have persona.
Yeah, so Yeah, I'm gonna probably do a video about field video tomorrow. Got some stuff to talk about, some opinions on that. With that being said, we are up out of here. Thank you for the people in the chat: Emmanuel A, Tip Diamond, Heath Stevens, King Thrash, R&B, Mr. Kima, Joe Hanzel, everybody that showed up. We appreciate it. We got to 30 today, which is decent for us. Which is really decent, right? Like right now with everything crazy with YouTube and everything. So
yeah.
So that's
is he live?
Yeah, thank all y'all for coming out.
He's on Twitch.
Yeah. No. So all right, everybody, we out of here. Peace out.
Good night.
Yeah.